Everybody, I'm more gravity. Let's play chess. Streaming and broadcasting. Broadcasting and streaming. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. This game was okay in terms of accuracy, nothing crazy. Only one change in evaluation. When we talk about change in evaluation, we're usually talking about did white have strong control and strong advantage? Did black have strong control and strong advantage? Or was the game more or less even? You can see here um, on the game chart that it was even through to about wherever here is, and that's only move 7. Broke towards white, and then I maintained that lead with any blunder, mistake, or inaccuracy thereafter, still maintaining the lead for white. So this is one of the important things to consider. E4, C5. Oh, go hold on there, cowboy. E4, C5. I played the Alpine Sicilian, also known as the three of the C3 Sicilian. Sorry, let's start over. E4, C5. I played the Alpine Sicilian, also known as the C3 Sicilian. White plays C3 on move 2, and that's as much as there is to it. As you'll see in the game, my aim is to establish a strong central pawn duo. This is a good way for black to play against this system, allowing the central pawn duo at first, but then undermining it with d5. Creates a more open game, and there will be dynamic piece movements and considerations. It's a very active and excellent way for black to play against the Sicilian Alpine variation, the Alpine Sicilian. We have some swaps on d5, and like I said, we're going to see some sweeping piece movements, most likely. There's one of them. Bishop to b4. You'd love to see that. Even in your opponent here, playing a great move. And look at that bishop taking right from his starting spot advantage of this situation all the way to b4. That's a nice sweeping motion. All right, and bishop d2, simple defense. All right, there were calculations perhaps leading to better for white here. I wasn't sure if there was something on at a4, and then perhaps a queen sacrifice even on b4. And when the sacrifice finalizes with the queen being captured by knight takes b4, only then does white go on and reclaim the queen portion of uh, the material swap and captures on d5 with knight takes d5. Let's take a look. So, queen to a4. Now we've got simple defense, and I'm wondering if queen takes b4. I don't think is good because the knight will capture and then have this checking square, and will. I don't think that was the right move, was it? I'm pretty sure black should play knight to c2 check. Now what does the computer have for us after that? Okay, so there's some movements. This is also not the right move. Oh, the same. I see the same fork, more or less, or a similar fork. A fork that resembles the one black gave white is now available to white here, and that pushes things towards white's direction. All right. So, in all that, then the queen sacrifice is on. Right. Let's go back. Try the recapture. We know what's going to happen, and then recapture here. The queen sacrifice was at least viable. I'm still worried about how, as white here, I'm still worried about how white's going to control knight as crazy as this knight on b4. Probably king d1. I'm thinking king d1 here for white. And, it's a game. It's a different game. The queen sacrifice was a simplifying sacrifice and just leads to a different type of game. So back to the game I played bishop to d2, which is also fine because black has to address the threat on d5 in some manner, and most of the tactics on the board here favor white. It's black who has to play accurately. When he does so, we say probably, then the computer takes over with the correct evaluation of about a third of a pawn in favor of white. Not very much. So the computer does that, but in terms of having to play accurately, there are a lot more pitfalls and traps against black in this position than vice versa. And that's exactly what happened. In a practical, pragmatic way, sometimes there's some element of the position is overlooked. Look, when I played bishop to d2, I broke the pin on the c3 knight, which is hard to see because the c3 knight's here and the bishop's over here. So how should that affect something over here? It's even to an experienced mind, it can occasionally cause an issue. And this is a blunder. Knight takes d4, but chess players are people. We make blunders. We make mistakes. We play inaccuracies. So I pick up the queen on d5, and a relatively dynamic, finishing, I guess you could say. Finish him, like in Mortal Kombat. Finish him. A relatively dynamic finishing move ensues. I'd just like to note that I could have mentioned that Scorpion's finishing move is you get the right distance and you hold start and press up 3 times. If it's not that, it's maybe you hold block and you press up 3 times. But that's not all that complicated. I had just been saying we're going to have a relatively complicated and dynamic finishing move. I used to play, I don't know if people watching me on Twitch know this, I was a gamer for many years. And now I've decided to return to a game that's much better for me, and that's chess. So let's get back to it then. And Scorpion can walk the other way or something. Walk this way, talk this way. Alright. Alright, we have rooks opposing each other on the only open file. That is definitely by design. I'm very glad that most likely I'm going to be trading rooks, get as much material off the board. That's white. We're at 5 points. Get that material off the board. Just grind it out. Search for tactics that allow you to trade, equal pieces of material, equally valued pieces of material. Get those trades in. And here's the good news. You gotta learn about piece movement and tactics and dynamic chess positions. While doing so, whether you're learning how to trade this white bishop for your opponent's this light squared bishop for your opponent's light squared bishop, whether you're learning how to, engineer a trade like that, or any other tactic that would put you ahead, God bless it, you're still going to learn a lot about how the pieces move, how to interact with your opponent's pieces. Patterns will become these parts of your brain that will just be chunking different patterns like you wouldn't believe, to show how, maybe rooks in opposition occur and so on. So even though the tactics are to just grind down, they're still tactics, and you'll still learn from them, and it will improve your game when you're even anyway. So some rooks are traded. Now here, rook to e1, I might have done this differently. I thought I had enough against the bishop for a quick trade. Perhaps rook to c1 was better. See here, the computer likes rook to c1 quite a bit. Well, rook to e1 also is okay, so a dalliance for a different day. Let's try, I'm in a good mood. Let's try rook to c1, see what happens here. Oh, an immediate trade. Love it. And we're going to get another trade out of this. Look at bishop f5. It's a certain trade. We don't even have to cash in on it right away. Ooh. Okay. Here's an important pattern to know. I played queen f4 here, knowing that the knight on f6 will have a very difficult time protecting h4. This is an important pattern that is some call it the knight, skip, and land. In a diagonal motion like this, this square, the h4 square, is really difficult for the black knight to eventually cover. Even in imaginary land where these pawns and this queen aren't going to capture him in any which way or whatever, then when this knight has a pawn separated by one diagonal square like this, it will be difficult to ever attack or to ever defend that pawn. Okay, so when I'm playing here, I'm looking at, look, this is this idea of patterns and noticing patterns and chunking. There's some excellent work done on this by a researcher named Dr. Paul de Groot. And so if you search like Dr. Paul de Groot and then the word chess, you might find a scholarly article or two exactly related to this. But what I'm saying is, my mind, I see these pieces like this relating to each other. I'm saying my queen can take advantage of h4 quite easily, and that informs the move queen to f4. Knight to e8 is, so what, big deal. And capture on h4. I have another pawn in my coffers, so to speak, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll probably scooch the king over to the dark square here. No, my opponent chose for this knight f5, even if it's pinning himself to his own king. So we're going to use these magic squares provided partially by the pin to push my H pawn up. Okay. Good game. Look, I wanted to say that there's a lot of movements and goings on, and the seasons are changing. It's getting darker outside, darker outside. So I just want to say that to anybody who's been, helping me achieve my goals, that I'm really thankful, and um, we'll get through this. There's always an element of life where it could be topsy turvy, and we'll get through this if it feels that way for you right now. That there is light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm optimistic about the world's future, the future of the United States, and of New Jersey as well. I'm optimistic and thankful right now. I feel like a lot of people have been helping me through my occasional anger, and it's really nice to have surroundings where people aren't stacking the deck against you. So, again, thank you for that. All right. Thank you so much for watching on More Gravity. Have a great night.